All right, I think it's recording. Okay, I'm excited, everybody. This is Marissa, and your last name is Stockwell, right? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay. I saw it change on Facebook, so I wasn't sure if it was the right one, if I put the right last name on it. But I'm so excited to have you on here. I know we've only met a couple times in person, but I feel like I know you so much over social media. I love all your posts, and I've loved watching your journey. And who is your enroller? Is it Tracy?
Yes, Tracy Chandler. She's on as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, go ahead and share your story and how you got started with It Works.
So I am Marissa. Sorry, my daughter is, she's two, gonna be three, so she might run around and make some noise. I joined in 2015. I first signed up as a customer after I tried a wrap. It worked for me the first time, and so I signed up during BOGO. And Tracy didn't even come to me. She didn't ask me. I kind of asked her after I'd seen it all over social media. I was like, what is this crazy thing? And so I was like, I have to have it. It worked for me. So I joined as a customer, got BOGO wraps. Like it, maybe 4 days later, I'd messaged her and said, okay, so how do I make money? Because obviously I was living paycheck to paycheck with my 9-to-5 job, and I didn't know how I was going to pay for my products after my first month. So I didn't want to tell my husband and be like, hey, I purchased these 2 boxes of wraps for $59, and now I have to pay, at least, the minimum of $25 for 2 more months. So I asked her and she told me, and so I joined, and I didn't really know what I had my hands on, but I knew I already had 3 boxes of wraps. And so I started using my wraps. I got a couple friends to join with me, so I got 4 customers within 30 days, and so we had the 150, I can't remember exactly what it was, product credit, and I used all of that for myself. So I started doing greens, wraps, ThermoFit, and Fat Fighters, and I was doing that religiously for 3 months straight. And at this time, I was 185 pounds when I first started. And so after those 3 months, I lost 36 pounds, roughly. And so I pretty much maintained that from then on. And so 2 years, later down the road, I still maintained my weight loss. So I just want to show you. I'll just show you if I possibly.
Wow.
So on the left is 2015, and on the right is this year. So
that's amazing.
I wonder if I stop screen sharing. I'm really bad at Zoom. So anyways, so that's basically my story in a nutshell. However, on top of that, I've also lost my weight, and then with that time frame, within 60 days, I went Ruby, and I was asked to go on the first cruise with my sponsor because she thought that I was deserving of that. And after that, not even 3 months later, I went Diamond. So I was Ruby, 3 months later, went Diamond. So with me using the products and sharing the products with other people and sharing my story was a huge deal. And so people don't really understand that most customers aren't buying the product, they're buying you. So they trust you, and they trust that you know that the products work. And so when you're not opening your mouth and sharing your story about how you use the products and what you're doing with the products, a lot of people will kind of like shy you off and say, you know what, I don't really know what's going on here, and I don't really understand fully, and I don't really see that you are using them yourself. So that's like super key to me, especially in this business, because I have such drive and love for the products. It helps with the business aspect of it.
I love that. So do you have like a group how do you work with your customers? Since I know do you get a lot from your weight loss journey? Is that how you get your customers?
For the most part, so it's funny how you ask that because it depends on what I'm actually promoting. So I try to at least pick something new each month, you know, consistently to like use lavender oil or once a week or something, a post like that. So the more that I show that I'm using that product, the more customers that I sign up on that product. So it's not necessarily just people who are trying to lose weight, but primarily what it is. So I usually typically use social media. I don't do a lot of belly to belly because I still do work a full-time job.
Yeah.
So social media is kind of my niche.
Do you do, I know everyone gets asked this, but do you do like cold messaging, or do you build relationships with them, like just constantly commenting, or how do you work that?
So I try to at least add 5 to 6 people a week, so that new people on my friends list. I do not cold message. So I was just talking to Tracy about this. I had someone follow me on Instagram who had been a beach body coach, and she saw that I was on a fitness journey, you know, health and wellness journey as well. And she instantly messaged me, and I was like, super, you know, blown away by that, because I am totally that person who wants to work with them and wants to build a relationship with them, because it's not just about me selling a product to somebody. It's me, you know, me helping them change their life. It's not about the money in that. Sorry, I'm distracted. Not about money to me. It's more about helping people, you know, with their goals and needs.
So do you use Facebook more or Instagram?
I use Facebook more. I just started using Instagram here and there just because I follow a lot of people who, it's easy to follow people on Instagram when they're on like a fitness journey or trying to look for health and wellness things because of the hashtags. So I don't know. I've been trying to incorporate using Instagram, but mainly I use Facebook. Yeah.
Do you do any live videos, or do you just strictly post?
I wouldn't say I do a lot of live videos, but that is a goal of mine to continue to do more. I usually post, just because I know I can stay consistent with that. I just know that I have, you know, my followers. Could you please stop? Thank you. And then, you know, incorporating live would be great. I do go live sometimes, but not consistent like I post.
Right. So those that you sign up for weight loss, like they saw your journey and they want to do it, do you have like a meal plan for them, or do you just set them up on the products and tell them like what, like basically, you know, they need to eat clean?
So typically it depends on, you know, the person. So if it's somebody who wants to lose weight, but they drink a lot of pop or soda, as some people call it, I usually try to start them on Confianza first, because your cortisol levels and soda or pop, you know, get affected from having long-term effects of that. So I start that first, and then typically I suggest a couple things and see where their budget is. So when I find out what their budget is, then I can kind of fit their needs. And sometimes, you know, they can only do 1 product a month, or they can do 2 products a month. So and I tell them, you know, okay, so I know your budget's this. If you want to get faster results, then we'll need to do this. And if you can't do this is how this is going to go. So I don't necessarily have a laid out plan for somebody, really just per person. And when I sign them up, at least a week and a half later, I follow up and say, hey, did you get your box or package? And then they'll let me know if they did or didn't. And so then I can go from there. And usually I tell them, let me know when you get your box, so then I can immediately instruct them how to use their products before they start them.
Right. Do you have a system that you use as far as like keeping track of everybody? Do you write it down, or like, you know, like your follow-ups? Anything like that?
To keep track of customers, I usually put it in my phone in a calendar, because I always have my phone. That's always something I have instead of carrying a book with me. And I usually sign up loyal customers myself, so I put their information in my phone as well. And my hundreds list and stuff like that, that's obviously in a book. but I
Right.
always can refer back to that. I'll put names on like the notes in my phone as well if I need to
Mhm.
know, like, okay, this week I need to follow up with this person, and this week I need to follow up with this person. Sorry, my daughter's yelling for me because she's got to go to the bathroom. I'll run real quick.
That's fine. We can do this business anywhere, anytime.
Can I add something, Stephanie?
Yeah, go ahead.
About
Oh, that's
Marissa?
where you were. I was looking for you.
Sorry, my photo's not on. I just want to add about Marissa. One of the things that I think greatly contributed to her success, on top of the fact that she was consistent with products, because I do agree with Marissa in the fact that, you know, her consistency with products is what drove people to her, because they could see her results versus, okay, they're just trying to sell a product.
Right.
However, her consistency also was a big deal with her reach out. Because she was like she said, she was sharing, she was opening her mouth about what she was doing. And so even though people were telling her no, her consistency did not fall off the wagon. Like she mentioned, cruise, people didn't run to her because she went on a cruise afterwards.
Right.
I can remember that month that she went diamond, I believe that it was either March or April of 2016 when she went diamond. Everyone else on my team was like, what is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? And they all wanted to know the secret because she signed like 9 distributors in 1 month.
Wow.
And it literally, I think there was maybe one of those 9 that was a new contact. All the other 8 were people that she had talked to within her first couple months in business and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. Would you like to join me? They all said no. And so it took almost a full, 10 months, 11 months for those people to come around. And so I just wanted to add, that matters whether you're seeing the results or not. If you let up and you show your audience, like, you know what, I'm discouraged because the weight's not coming off as fast as I want it to. And the money, it's not just pouring in by the thousands like I would love it to.
Right.
You have to be consistent. And so I remember laughing at that because everyone, I was getting messages left and right. What is Marissa doing? I want to know what Marissa's doing. And Marissa was just being Marissa. And all those people that they thought she was just, oh, do you want to sign? Sure. It wasn't like that. And so I thought it might be important to add that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I do agree. People can tell, like, when you're not posting. They can tell when they think you've quit.
And not only that, they can tell when you're chasing the paycheck and not really caring about what they want and what they feel. And so that's really important to me, is always making somebody feel like they're needed or wanted. So I always incorporate that into my business, because I wouldn't want somebody to come to me and say, hey, will you buy this for me? Okay, why? So it's kind of like, I'm not somebody who wants to just take your money. I'm somebody who actually genuinely cares about you and your family and actually how you're doing and what goals you have. And so that's why connecting with people is super important, because you just don't know and you can't assume.
So when you say connecting, do you personally message them or do you just like comment?
So typically, if someone likes something of mine, whether it be a picture of my kids or a picture of something I posted with a product, they always go on my hundreds list. Typically, if they like something, I'll go to their page and like something and comment on something, because the algorithm of Facebook, a comment weighs more than a like. And so I try to comment more than like, just because then they know that my name's there and they're like, oh, she said that, whatever I'd commented, like, oh, your kids are cute, your dog's cute, whatever it is, something just pretty simple.
Yeah.
And so that's actually connecting with them. There's always something that you can connect with somebody. Usually we have something that's similar with each other. So for the most part, yeah, commenting, and then if then following that, they still continue to like my stuff, then I'll message them and say, hey, I noticed that you liked my photo of me rapping. Have you ever tried it? And so that kind of opens the door, because you've already connected with them. They already know that you're a real person. And so just asking that simple question, have you ever tried it? And then they'll say yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
We have online parties, and I refer to that a lot. And so usually our online parties do all the talking, so that I don't necessarily have to pick apart the person.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So when you do your posting, do you do like the 3-3-3 rule, or is it the 3? Yeah, like 3 lifestyle posts, 3 product business posts.
I try to follow that for the most part, just because it's working for people and it's worked for me. And so a lot of my posts are always a product. My lifestyle is the product. So
exactly.
I guess it's super hard for me to like differentiate that, but for the most part, you know, I use the products, my kids use the products. So if I'm doing a lifestyle product, it's usually, a lifestyle post, it usually has a product in it either way.
Right.
She's howling.
That's so cute. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I feel like I'm asking you a million questions.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm gonna lay on you.
Okay, that's fine.
Someone just asked something. How do you come to figure out what combination of weight loss products to use? So you just basically go off of that individual person?
Yeah, so I don't really have a guideline that I go off of. It's always about just feeling the person out. So basically the first couple questions I ask are, how much weight do you want to lose, usually? In what time frame? And what's your budget? Because those are important, questions, especially the budget one. Typically, we want to get them on a pack if we can. And so,
Mommy, I want to go faster.
So, and those are a little bit more expensive for people. If they can't do that, then I have to kind of switch it up. So it all depends. And of course, if they're not pop drinkers, I try to start with cleanse. Let's cleanse your body. Let's get everything out. And then we'll go with greens the next month. It just all depends on what their budget is, truly. And then that's really how I base it.
Gotcha. So you really care about the person, and that shows. If you're not just trying to get the highest BV sale, you're asking them lots of questions.
Yeah, and so obviously if you care about that person, that's going to be a long-term customer, or that's going to come back to you as a distributor. As long as you're taking care of somebody and saying, okay, well, I need to know this, this, and this, and they're going to realize, like, okay, she really does care about my goals and how I feel and what I want to do. If you're just saying, okay, well, let's buy the Target Trio and not even ask what their budget is, they're going to be like, oh, I can't afford that. And it's going to just prevent them from doing anything at all.
Right. She's so cute. Okay. I think that's all of my questions. Do you guys have any questions? Anybody? This is super quick. Tracy, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I did, and then I forgot what I was going to say. It had to do with the posting thing. I was going to say, I learned recently, I used to really, really focus on that 3-3-3. But like Marissa said, it's really hard when you're a true it works lifer and you're a product of the product and it's part of your lifestyle. Her and I'm only speaking for her because I know her pretty well, but anybody else that's really a lifer in this business, I mean, we accept that this is part of our lifestyle. We don't worry about, oh, is this going to annoy people and stuff like that. And so we're able to make our lifestyle posts also about our business. And so since we do that, I've kind of stepped back from focusing on making sure I get the 3-3-3 and just making sure that my timing, as far as the Facebook algorithm goes, is beneficial to me. And what I mean by that is Amber Parker was doing a training one day and she had made a comment about if you're posting more than every hour and a half, if you're posting too close together, then Facebook's only going to show one of your posts. It's going to show whatever gets the most interaction the quickest. And, in my business, if I just post up a picture of a bottle of Thermal Fit versus a picture of my kids, obviously my kid's going to get the more likes because even if somebody's interested in Thermal Fit, they might not like my picture. They might not they might be worried I'm going to contact them, you know. So I've just become very aware of if I am all of a sudden going to post something, because I am a stay-at-home mom and I don't need to time like, oh, let me set aside 15 minutes to set up a buffer. I just post when I feel like it, but I've become very, very conscious of, wait a minute, I just posted this 45 minutes ago, I better wait, because I don't want any post to overshadow something that I'm trying to get out there and trying to get visibility on. So that's all I wanted to add.
No, I appreciate that. That's good. So do you post every 2 hours then? Is that like your window?
Yeah, I try to make it every 2 hours, if not 3 hours. And sometimes I do post too close together, but most of the time it's just if I look back at the last post and I think, oh, it's okay if that one doesn't get visibility, then I will be like, all right, whatever, I'm going to post this because this is what I'm doing right now. But
okay,
that's the same with me. If I feel like, okay, my post, it's already gone and not a lot of people have seen it, if I have a good idea and post something, then I'm gonna post it.
Yeah. Well, what I love about both of your profiles is you can definitely see your personality, you know, like you can definitely tell you're not fake, you know, you both are funny in your posts and you're just real, you know. So I appreciate that in both of your profiles. But I don't know if anyone else has any more questions, but if not, I really appreciate you guys hopping on tonight and pouring into our team. I'll go ahead and stop the recording.